Dynamic entrance kicking in the door like God. Turn up to the max, shooting energy up to the sky. Tap into the station 935, it's time to rock. Swooshy color backgrounds just to let you know we fly. Undefeated, never beaten, cause we got the skills. Striking all this black gold, you would think we had a drill. We got what you need, homie, so come and get your fill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill. It's time to anime and chill. Relax and unwind, it's time to anime and chill.
And we are back. You are chilling with your favorite two N-words, the biggest anime nerds. We can say it. You can't. And today's episode is brought to you by the letter N. What's going on, man?
Man, trying to figure out what the letter N is all about. What's going on with...
Nobody knows.
Well,
only the nose knows.
Hey.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Watch that wordplay, buddy. People get arrested for that kind of shit.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Now, who are we talking about as far as getting arrested, and what was it they got arrested for?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying, you know how things are nowadays. You can't
I
really
thought
say
you was going to
nothing.
talk about a celebrity got arrested. That's why I was like,
I don't know
oh.
about no stuff. I don't know nothing about
We got some celebs that's, getting some street cred out here.
I know they're getting some dumb shit.
Getting a
know
little
that.
teardrop every now and then.
Man, yeah, some of them be getting into that gangster shit. But some of them be really stupid, really dumb shit.
Yeah, man. Tonight we want to talk about a couple of things. I want to do a good last minute rewrite for Suicide Squad, because I feel like that movie could have been better. And
yeah, it could have been better.
You know what I mean? So just a little retweet. Hell, I should fucking do a last minute rewrite. That bullshit that was fucking can't even think of the name right now. That's how dumb that shit was. A new Netflix movie that Zack Snyder, he did it again, man.
Army of the Dead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cause I wanted to say
Man, I had
The
hope for
Walking
him, man.
Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Right, everything's dead.
Right.
Everything is dead.
Right, like really, so we going back to the zombie apocalypse thing? I thought that phase was over, but okay. But nah, that'll be for another time. Again, I will throw that on the poll with another movie or so, and this time, hopefully, the people who are listening will vote. But yeah, nonetheless, I do want to kind of do somewhat of a last minute rewrite for Suicide Squad. You want to talk about some One Piece too? Let's talk about
man,
some.
because they turn it up, man.
Okay, so we could get into that too.
Definitely going ahead.
But yeah, right now I want to kind of talk about the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Okay, because I was about to say.
Yeah, no, that's the branding. The horror show at Extreme Rules. That was the name of the pay-per-view.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
That's a new pay-per-view?
I guess they,
It's a new pay-per-view?
No, it's just Extreme Rules.
But
The pay-per-view, like they've done Extreme Rules in the past, like the pay-per-view Extreme Rules, but it's just, I don't know. In 2020, it was for some odd reason now it's the horror show at Extreme Rules, and I guess because they wanted to kind of center it around the ending, which I'm going to get to in a second. Because that ending was, when you put it into perspective, it makes sense. But it's like, once you look at it, it's like, how did I not see this coming? But yeah, so kind of piggybacking off of last week, what happened between MVP and Apollo Crews, come to find out they had a match, and due to shenanigans, MVP beat him. It was a non-title match, but MVP beat him. So after the match, Bobby Lashley put the Hurt Lock on him. And what the Hurt Lock is, it's a full Nelson. And Bobby Lashley has the most devastating full Nelson that there is right now.
I bet.
Like, bruh, he's ragdolling grown-ass men.
It's like somebody took a bunch of muscles together and balled them up into a ball.
Right.
Put them in a fucking cookie maker.
Right, and then told that nigga, you could do what Sonic does.
Right. Told him to go smash.
Bruh. So, yeah, no, so on Extreme Rules, what happens is, I think Apollo had failed like a physical, or that the story they said was he failed a physical. He's medically cleared to get in the ring, but he failed a physical, so he can't defend his United States title. Well, come to find out, MVP unveils a new United States championship and crowns himself the United States champion. Says because the champion cannot defend his title, and since I'm the last person he fought and beat him, I deserve to be the champion. So he crowns himself the champion, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, somebody's gonna come out and, you know what I'm saying, jump him from behind or challenge him or some way to make this shit official.
Right.
Nope. He just walked away with the title.
Well, nobody was
And I'm like, oh, that's messed up. So then we go into the tag team table match with the New Day going against Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. And the story going into that is both Shinsuke and Cesaro beat each member of the New Day in a singles match. And the SmackDown right before the horror show at Extreme Rules, they put Big E on a table and they powerbombed Kofi from the top rope through Big E through the table. So the match at the horror show at Extreme Rules was a tables match. And wouldn't you know it, they powerbombed Kofi through 2 tables this time, winning the match. So Cesaro and Nakamura are the tag titles, well, the tag champions from the story point that I'm telling. So going on, I think the next title match was Bayley versus Nikki Cross, and that match was pretty good. It was a little bit of Bayley showing off and not taking Nikki seriously, and Nikki's her anger and rage causing her to make simple mistakes. But once she started to get her sea legs up under her, she really started rolling. Shenanigans. So what happens is Sasha passes Bayley one of her 4-finger rings, and Michael Cole's dumbass doesn't know what to call it. He says, oh, Sasha just passed her one of those things that say boss that be on her hands. 4-finger ring. You dummy. Well, anyway, so she passes Bayley the 4-finger ring. I'm thinking she's going to clock Nikki in the face with it. Sasha distracts the referee. Bayley clocks Nikki in the gut. and she goes down like somebody took a sledgehammer to her belly. Bayley gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. They roll out the ring. Tell me why, when they're showing the replay, you clearly see Bayley hit her in the stomach, and Michael Cole says she punched her right in the face with those brass knucks.
What a way to blow that one, buddy.
Bruh. And I'm like, see, people try to defend you, and I'm like, no, you just give it a minute. He's gonna fuck up on his own. Cause everybody, oh, it's the people in his ear, the people in his ear. Yeah, I hear you on some of that shit, but some of that shit is just rookie mistakes.
He's like, yeah, some of that shit I let it slide, but nah.
Cause I know it's not just them sitting at a table calling the match.
Right.
Nah, they're wearing headsets, and in those headsets they got producers and whatnot telling them what to say, when to say, like maybe they got certain sponsors that they want to mention or certain products that they're trying to put, whatever the case may be. They got the producer telling them what to say, when to say it. Then they got a script in front of them. So, yeah, I understand that that's not an easy job. What I also know is if you're watching something and you see something clearly and you call it wrong, whose fault is that?
Yep, right.
But nonetheless, let's move on from that. The next match, huh?
Michael Cole still sucks.
Yeah. And Bayley tells him that all the time. So, so the next match is, what was it? I think the Intercontinental title match with AJ going against, I think, was it? I want to say Matt Riddle. He was either Matt Riddle or Drew Gulak, but because I'm getting that mixed up with, I'm getting that mixed up with SmackDown.
That's good.
But nonetheless, the match was back and I think it was Matt Riddle. Yep, and the match was back and forth because technically Matt Riddle had beat him in a non-title match on SmackDown, which is what set him up for the title match at this horror show that is Extreme Rules.
You know, Gulak sounds like garlic throw up.
No disrespect to the man, but yeah, that is a funny last name.
Gulak. I guess.
I think it's some kind of gumbo when I think of it. Oh, you want to try my gulak?
Boy, yeah, that's some Scottish shit.
See?
With a bone and a piece of bread.
And an eyeball floating in that motherfucker.
Right.
Speaking of eyeballs, that brings us to Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio.
You know, I don't even understand why they kept even putting him in matches like that. It's like, now you're just the pinata.
That's not funny. Pinata, man.
Like, I mean, Senor Pinata, Rey Mysterio, just every time he's in the ring with a dude 2-3 feet taller than him.
That's not his fault. That again, that goes into the booking because they love doing that David and Goliath story. It's never just, wrestling off of wrestling acumen, like putting two people who match up on paper, size, weight, height, abilities, all of that, putting them in the ring and letting them have a back and forth, and letting them naturally tell a story instead of, oh, look, we got the small guy going against the big guy. Who's gonna win? We don't know. Yes, the fuck you do. You wrote the story.
Right.
Come on, man. At least if you put two people who are evenly matched, you could honestly say, yeah, we don't know who's gonna win.
Right.
But The reason I said that in the statement about eyeballs is because the match that Rey Mysterio had with Seth Rollins, that Rey Mysterio asked for after damn near having his eye gouged out on the steel steps, was an eye for an eye match.
That's a first.
In which the only way to win is to pop out your opponent's eye.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little bizarre.
Yeah. A little bizarre is putting it mildly. Bro, the match was good. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. The match was good. The only downfall was when they started doing the actual finish, the hokey shit, in which he did. Seth Rollins grabs. Matter of fact, before they went into the finish, I gotta mention this. I gotta mention this because I thought it was so dope. They were on the outside, and Ray has just given Seth a Hurricane Rana. His face bounced off the steps. He's covering his face. The ref is trying to check to make sure his eye is still intact. Mm-hmm. And as he's stirring, rolling around on the ground, Rey Mysterio comes up with a curb stomp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I popped for that one. I was like, whoa, that one that's a new one. I was like, okay, I like that. But then Rollins immediately got up, curb stomped Ray, drug him over to the steps, and proceeded to pop his eye out of his skull.
Wow. Stop playing. Like, I mean,
let me rephrase that. He began to, air quotes, pop his eye out of his head.
About to say, they've been gotten real.
They tried to fake you out because Ray had a fake eyeball in his hand.
Oh, wow.
And was clutching it to his mask. Yeah. And when the ref went to check, the ref rang the bell. Seth walked back over to go to pick him up. And when he saw the fake eye, this nigga literally vomited. He projectile vomited. And I'm sorry, this nigga looks weird when he throws up, bro. He looked like somebody was giving him the Heimlich maneuver as he was throwing. Like, bro,
man, he was selling that shit.
Oh, God. I'm like, bro.
Disgusting. Yeah. That's bananas. So wow, they doing shit like that now?
We only halfway through the night. After that was another pretty good match. We get back to somewhat of normalcy, and I say somewhat because we get the WWE title match, which is Drew McIntyre taking on Dolph Ziggler. Okay, this one's kind of cool. They used to be tag partners, and the whole story is that when Drew was fired and he was running around on the indies, that Dolph was the one that brought him back into the company and made him what he is, and he's like, nigga, you owe me a title match.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, pardon, Drew agrees, gives him this title match at Extreme Rules, tells him, hell, I'll even let you pick the stipulation. Why did he do that? Dolph Ziggler picks your little brother's stipulation. What do I mean by your little brother? Everybody has a younger brother that when they're playing the game always wants shit to be in their fucking favor. His stipulation is, this match is Extreme Rules for me only.
Oh wow, of course so. Of course. That is some little brother shit.
It gets worse. He says, if you, he was like, if not only is it only Extreme Rules for me, if you decide you don't want to continue this match and you walk away, you lose your title via countout. If you get mad and decide you're just going to get yourself disqualified, you lose your title. If you do anything other than follow the rules of a normal wrestling match, you lose your title. Again, the match was okay. It was just a bunch of Dolph picking up weapons, getting hit, picking them up again, getting hit, finally getting his hit off with the weapons, beating down McIntyre for a little bit, thinking he got the match won, setting up for his little super kick, only for McIntyre to nip up from his back into a goddamn Claymore kick. That shit was so fucking beautiful. Caught this man in the middle of a super kick with a Claymore. Put his lights out. 1, 2, 3, match over. Like, you wasted your shot. You took your one shot. You stacked the deck and still lost.
Damn.
Because Dolph Ziggler followed the rules of a regular match. Outside of just hitting him with weapons, because there was no rule said Dolph Ziggler couldn't walk away from the ring. If he gets counted out, he wins the belt. Because it's Extreme Rules for him. There's no count out for him. There's no DQ for him. So the best thing for him would have been to drag McIntyre outside, beat his ass up the ramp, take him to the back, get him counted out. Ding, 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 who's the winner?
Right.
If you go invoke these stipulations, at least use them. Nope. They were just there for show. Y'all didn't even use those stipulations. Not really anyway. It was only one time they used this stipulation, and that was when McIntyre picked up a chair. And he was getting ready to hit Dolph with it. And then he threw it away. Matter of fact, it was one other time. It was another time on the outside. Dolph had just set up a table. Drew picked him up for a suplex, noticed where he was, changed his trajectory so that he didn't put him through the table. But yeah. So after that, we had the SmackDown women's match, which was Sasha, or no, it was the Raw women's match. It was Sasha taking on Asuka. And with that shit was just, not so much a heated rivalry, but just a game of one-upsmanship.
Now, is Asuka still good like she was when she first started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruh, it's
down now.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, they'll book her to lose a lot sometimes, but like, if you watch her matches, nah, she's dope in the ring.
She's still bringing the heat.
Yeah, yeah. And her and Sasha was tearing that shit down. And again, shenanigans. I think I'm gonna put that shit on a t-shirt. Shenanigans.
Yeah.
But so what happened with that is Bayley throws one of the tag titles in the ring. Sasha rolls on top of it. Bayley distracts the referee. And when I mean distract, she gets in the ring and kind of stunts like she's finna hit Asuka with the belt. So the ref is getting her out. He finally gets her out. Sasha finally gets up and she's going to hit Asuka with the belt. The ref jumps in front of her. No, you can't hit her with the belt. And I wasn't going to hit her with the belt. So the ref takes the belt from Sasha. He throws the belt outside. He comes back. Sasha goes to pick up Asuka. When Asuka gets back up, she goes to spray her green mist. Sasha ducks. Catches the referee. The referee goes down from the green mist. Bayley gets in the ring, clocks Asuka with the belt, snatches the referee shirt off of the referee.
Oh, wow.
Puts it on.
With extra mile.
Yeah. On some Attitude Era shit.
Yeah, that is some Attitude Era shit.
And then 1, 2, 3, counted the 3 count. And everybody is like, yo, that's fucked up. It gets better. She goes, ring the bell. And the dude is like, the fuck? I said, ring the damn bell. She gets out of the ring, goes over to the timekeeper and grabs this motherfucking shirt. I said, ring the goddamn bell. He rings the bell. Thank you. She grabs all of the belts and they take off. But
ooh, came through and stole all of them shit.
Yeah. But something happens on SmackDown next week that I'm gonna get to later. But for now, they hold all the gold. So
yeah, that's some Attitude Era shit right there. For real.
Yeah, man.
I see. Okay, trying to bring it back.
Bruh, so freaking the last and final match wasn't even really a match. It was the swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Harken back to their Wyatt family days, and that was the story. That Bray Wyatt made Strowman the monster that he is, and that now he has to destroy him in order to remake him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, going on thick, buddy.
But, like I said, this wasn't a normal match. This was more along the lines of the Boneyard match that Undertaker and AJ Styles had. Only thing was, that was actually good.
Damn, so this match wasn't all that, huh?
No, because it was more of a mini movie than a match.
Oh, I thought it would have been a pretty decent match.
It would have been if they were actually wrestling. This match was just a collection. Well, not a collection. It had a story. The first part was Bray is sitting on a road in a rocking chair. Strowman pulls up in his pickup truck. He jumps out. He walks over to Bray. Somehow, it goes completely pitch black. Like, the truck lights go out, and somehow the moonlight goes out. Yeah, picture that. Right. Super theatrics. So, it goes black. It comes back. Like, it only goes black for like a second. Comes back. Bray's gone. Rocking chair is just swinging. Braun starts walking up the property. He gets to a clearing in the trees where he can see the house. And then out of nowhere, some dudes in sheep masks rush him. And now he has to fight off these dudes in sheep masks. And so he fights them off, only to get hit in the back and knocked down. When he turns around and looks up, what does he see? Braun Strowman.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Wearing the sheep mask. So now, Braun Strowman is being stalked by Braun Strowman. And the editing on this shit was terrible. It was terrible, bro. They didn't even get another person as tall as him or as big as him and shoot from behind that person.
Wow.
So you see him crawling away from a bigger person.
Right. Give you that mystery.
Right. Nah, they didn't do that. Bruh, it was just him on the ground trying to crawl away, and then they show him stalking the camera. Then they show the camera stalking him, then him stalking the camera. The camera stalking him, then him stalking the camera till finally, this nigga finally clocks himself with a shovel. The evil version clocks the good version with a shovel.
With a shovel.
This nigga wakes up in a rocking chair. Well, chained up in a rocking chair. And you can clearly see they just wrapped the chains around him. Like, he's pretending to struggle. He's really selling that struggle. But you can clearly see, nigga, if you get up, them chains is gonna fall off.
Yeah, well, you know, they gotta make it look real for the kids, man.
Like, man.
It's for the kids.
Man, fuck them damn kids. But nah. So and then you got Bray giving his bad guy monologue. Talking about how could you do this to me, brother? I loved you. Da, 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 da. We could have ruled the world together, and this, that, and the third, and now I gotta put you out the pasture. It was just a long ass speech. Wasn't a dialogue. It was a speech. Because Strowman sat there and let this nigga say what he had to say. He didn't have his mouth taped. He wasn't gagged. This nigga just let him make a bad guy speech in front of him. And I'm like, oh my God. What are y'all doing with this man, Bray? Why? Oh my God. He had so much potential when he started out with The Fiend. Why would y'all do that? So, then Bray knocks him out. Hitting this nigga with, I think it was another shovel. Like, bro, they literally buried Braun Strowman. Freaking, so what happens is, he wakes up in the clearing in the forest where he got knocked out by his evil self. Go figure. He gets up, he starts walking towards the house, runs into them same dudes in the sheep masks, has to fight them again. Now he's starting to hear Alexa's voice in his head. Talking about, come on, Braun, follow me. You know you always wanted to be together. You always wanted to be together. Like, people don't know that they're actually not together. And I think at that time she had just got proposed to by this rock star. I forget the dude's name, but yeah. So she's engaged to somebody else. And I'm like, come on, man. If y'all gonna do the whole love angle storyline, at least get two single people. Or two people who are already in a relationship. Because we're in the information age. So it's like in the information age, that's the internet. People know more stuff now more than ever.
Yeah, and they can know it in the blink of an eye too.
Right.
It used to take days to research something.
Right. You would have to go to the library and look it up.
Look it up. And
do it manually. But now you could click a button, go on YouTube, look up a video in seconds. But I said all that to say this. They were setting up her Sister Abigail character, which will come into play later on in the year. Trust me, we are not done talking about that character. But for the moment, it was just a little weird. So they have a chick standing on the dock, and it's clearly not Alexa Bliss, but they have her dressed in the same garb that Alexa's in. But then they do like a close-up on Alexa standing in, I want to say like a studio, and they have it blacked out with a single light over her. And so it's like, so you know she's clearly not standing on the dock. But they needed a close-up of her face, but I guess she couldn't be there when they were shooting. I don't know. So, yeah, she was not on the dock, but they had a stand-in who looked nothing like her. And the reason I say that is Alexa Bliss is 5'1".
Why did they?
The chick they had standing on the dock was taller, way taller than 5'1". But she was blonde, so they figured nobody would notice.
Nobody would notice. That's fucking
and she's
lazy.
far away, so you can't really tell the size scale. Bullshit. I love tiny ass women, so I know a short chick when I see one. But nah. So they just use that to lure him over to this other part of the dock. Finally, he runs into Bray Wyatt. They have an actual fight on the dock. Now remember, this is around the same time Corona broke out. These motherfuckers is having an actual fight in an actual fucking swamp in the middle of Corona. And I suggest you let that one marinate. Yeah, so I'm like, dude, this shit is ridiculous. Oh my God, like you are putting your people, their health at Okay. Yeah, and then they had to say, and then the water is shallow as fuck. You could tell it's shallow as fuck.
I'm surprised these niggas actually fought in a fucking swamp though.
Bruh.
Like, bruh, that's...
They hyped it up as a swamp fight. I'm figuring they gonna fight on the land, on the little piece of land that's around the swamp. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they kept cutting in stock footage of animals and like, bro, it was weird because it was like they took B-roll of a swamp. They took stock footage of animals in a swamp and they spliced it into the swamp fight.
Oh.
To make you think that these motherfuckers are fighting in an actual swamp with actual alligators and moccasins.
Boy.
Fuck you and good night, but it gets worse.
Oh. Worse than all that fuckery.
Yes. Because first, Braun Strowman decides, I'm going to commit murder and drown this motherfucker. Holds his head under the water. Remember I told you, this shit is shallow fucking water. Holds his head under the water until looks like there's nobody there. Then they cut to B-roll of a still fucking swamp, which is not the same swamp that they're in. And it's like they really think they're fooling people. Oh yeah, it's camera trickery, is movie magic. No, your editing is
really
terrible. Your editing is terrible.
The WWE universe, they really tried that shit.
So wait, it gets worse.
Trying to get you.
Braun finally thinks he's won because he drowned Bray Wyatt. And he climbs his ass back up on the dock, rolls to his back, and in true horror movie fashion, he thinks it's over. He takes a deep breath. He hears bubbles. He looks over, the bubbles stop. And so he's looking into this swamp. And then they cut to B-roll of a still swamp, which again is not the swamp he's looking at. Then they cut back to him looking at the swamp, and they put the little graphic on the screen like to show, okay, the pay-per-view is over, but they don't fade to black yet. He keeps looking into this swamp. At the very last second, the Fiend's hand comes out. Mandible claw.
Bruh.
Drags this motherfucker into the swamp. You see the bubbles going, then they stop. The very last thing you see is the Fiend climb out of the fucking swamp.
Now, I was just about to ask you, so Bray didn't wrestle as the Fiend this time?
Nope.
But you answered my question.
Nope. He was cult leader Bray Wyatt up until the end where Braun Strowman killed him off.
Okay.
And then the Fiend returned from that, killing off Braun Strowman, so to speak. Which is weird because that match was for the title.
Oh, so the Fiend was the champ?
Again, I believe so. But I'm going to watch SmackDown and make sure that it's so.
I like how they threw that little horror movie ended in there. I like how they did that. That's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Entertaining. I'm not going to lie, entertaining.
And that was the horror show at Extreme Rules. Now, fill us in on some One Piece.
Man, look, well, basically, shoot, I done checked out last Sunday's episode, and bruh, it's about to go down. The allies are being made known now.
And by the allies,
I'm talking about
you talking about the Great Pirate Alliance that's finna start up.
Yep.
That being Luffy, Law, and Kid.
Yep. Bro, them three done hooked up, and it's good because you finally got to see Law's crew kind of do something. Because up until this point, I ain't never really seen them do nothing.
Right.
But seeing them do something is like, okay, so these ain't no bitches. You know, these aren't just your generic pirate crew members that's with this nigga.
Right.
So I mean that was dope.
Like because each of them were captains of their own crew, but up until this point, Law had been being held hostage. Just about. So he couldn't, I guess, really flex like he wanted to. But at the same time, when you think about it, Law was a warlord of the sea. Like,
they need to go back to that.
Like, before the war, like after the war ended, when they redid the warlord system and they made Buggy a warlord, Law became a warlord. And he became a warlord by bringing 100 pirate hearts to the Marine base.
Now that's the Law that I think they're trying to bring back in this one heart. And this last episode, my man was on some Cash Money talking shit. I mean, he could back it up too. He was backing it up this episode, but it's a lot better than what I'm used to seeing from him. You know, from Dressrosa, him getting beat up all the time.
Right.
You did see him.
Right, which is why I think either that happened because either he was in a hostage situation or he was being blackmailed somehow. Like they had something on him to keep him from going full-fledged. But now that he's free of that, or now that he feels like he has the backing to do that. Hold on for a second. We're gonna take a pause. Alright, so for those who are listening, we have a special guest in the building. There you go. We got a special guest in the building. You wanna come say what up to the people?
Yeah, man, let me talk to the people, man. It's your boy Ebo the coolest, man. One of the newest hosts on the team, man. 93.5, what's up with it? Man, Anime and Chill, what's going on, big bro?
Man, you already know, man. We always on that shit. We was in here talking about some One Piece right now, talking about some wrestling before that. So, while I got you in here,
Word.
I've been wanting to have you talk about some Death Note.
Word.
Cause I know
Yeah.
my older brother Thurman, he's in the Death Note.
Yeah, facts.
So I know some people getting into it. Go ahead, talk to the folks.
All right, man. So with Death Note, the whole thing about Death Note, what I realized really is that it's the story of Adam and Eve and Satan, all
Really?
over. It told in a Japanese story, but whitewashed to make fun of the prepubescent, adolescent white person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like
it's-
they normally do.
Right. So
Like
it
what they did
starts-
with Dragon Ball.
Exactly, right. So it starts out, the dude, Light, he's in high school. He the nerdy nigga, he's smart as shit. Dad is the police chief. Nerd, but nobody talks to this nigga Light. Light, hook around, runs into the Death Note because they just drop the Death Note whenever the last holder is done with it.
Right.
And so when the last holder is done and like, yo, I can't take this anymore, I don't want to do this no more, they give it up. So they give it up. It has to take like 7 days for that person to not be the owner of the Death Note no more.
Oh, damn.
So when it just randomly plops on this nigga Light, he looks down, picks it up, starts reading through it, sees all these names and sees all the ways these people have died. He starts looking it up and he's like, yo, this is all corresponding to each other. How this don't make sense. So once he takes ownership and starts writing his own Death Notes in that mug, by
Right.
saying the girl he actually starts to fall in love with just is the cigarette smoking cheerleader, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
that girl. She's not the blonde head, she's the black hair with the dark eyeliner,
Right. The tough brunette.
smoking the cigarettes in front of the
tomboy.
coaches. Yeah. But then she tries to be pretty too though. So like
Yeah, because she wants to get the attention of the quarterback.
right. So even though the only person looking at her is somebody
nerdy
like
emo
Light.
kid,
Somebody
yup.
like Light. So Light's sitting there and he admires her, sees that, she sees that, and he tries to save her from a little debacle she's going through by writing in the Death Note.
Okay.
So later on they meet up. She's like, oh, did you hear about this and that? He's like, oh yeah, I heard about it. I did it. She's like, what do you mean you did it? He's like, come in here. Writes down some shit. They cut on the TV. There's some big news broadcast going on. This dude is basically putting this woman at hostage, gunpoint, and Light writes away to figure out that whole situation and prove to her, yo, I did this. So when she
Right.
realizes that, she realizes how much power that he has, and all of a sudden the he becomes we, and he says that a few times too. What do you mean we? No, this is my
So
book.
she did like normal women,
Right, finesse
especially
her way.
most American women.
They slowly just like put it in a not even slow, they quickly put it in a montage and just let you see the progression of, oh, she sees the power of the book and she's like, oh my gosh, we could do so much. And he's like, you're not doing nothing.
Right.
And she starts kissing on him later
Right.
on. She starts
Right.
taking him on dates.
The Mike
Gets it-
Jones effect.
Man.
Back
now,
then, hoes didn't want me.
And
Now I'm
now-
hot hoes all on me.
And so now they got the Death Note. So now it went from being a story of man finding a creation of killing and death to now man and woman figuring out the outcome and the destination of wrongdoers. But the bad
Gotcha.
thing is that they're doing wrong.
Yeah,
So it's, you know.
because power corrupts.
Right. So it's like you killing
Absolute
people who are
power.
killing people. It kind of one hand washes the other, and nothing's really getting clean, money.
Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
Right. So I mean, the Light starts to come up with he starts making more killings, and they start noticing it, and the police start to catch on to him, and so Light comes up with this name that he's gonna go by, so that they don't catch on that it's him. Calls himself Kira, and starts making these killings in the name of Kira. Then people start worshiping Kira and all this, and the government's like, nah, we don't like this Kira.
Right.
And like I said, the main person in the forefront of this war, trying to figure out who Kira is Light's dad, the police chief.
Got you.
So he said it's a whole debacle of Light so close to the information that they don't even realize that he's getting all this information. Until there's one smart ass kid who's just like Light from somewhere else randomly, and he only catches, like he only pops up when there's situations like this to catch people like Light.
Got you.
And so the whole series is literally about the mind games that they play, bro. Like my palms are sweating because of how much back and forth mind shit that they're doing to each other, but then like the self-conscious thinking. Because you know, anime, they'll jump in, you'll be looking at each other and be like, I wonder if he knows I'm gonna do
Right, they give you their inner thoughts and whatnot.
Bruh, so like the main one that killed me is they're playing tennis, going back and forth, and he's like, Light's like, man, I don't want him to think I can't play sports, but I don't want him to pick out my dominance and use those keys to pick out the details. And then on the other side, the dude's like, I don't want him to think I'm onto him, but at the same time, I want him to know that I'm not stupid. So should I play this? So they're doing this whole back and forth. They're having this whole debacle.
They're having a mental game of tennis.
Right. It's like a real game of tennis and a mental game of tennis, and it's like their physical selves are not even really in the whole. I mean, it's in the scene because it's cartoon and shit, but it's like mentally you're sitting in their mind the whole time. It's going from one of them saying 2 or 3 lines, slap, hits the ball back. Should I let this go and let them think that they're smarter than me, or should I just hit it back?
Right.
I'm not weak. Let me hit it back. Boom. Man, I can't do this in this small back and forth stuff. So it was this long scene where I was like, wow, this is a really mental ass show. And really, man, like I said, it's Adam and Eve. Because what happens when you get the book, you get this, was it a demigod, a demigorgon? Or I forgot what the name of it is. Shinigami. It's a Shinigami, death god. And when you get the book, you get a death god. And in the real live movie, it's William Dafoe.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
And he sounds just like the animated version, bro. It is crazy, man. And so he comes in and he basically is your Jiminy Cricket once you get the book. He's with you,
Right.
and he's your, I don't want to say your good and bad side, because he's a death god. He wants shit to be bad, but he will manipulate you into doing some bad shit, even if it's gonna fuck your world up. He will still manipulate it. Be like, oh yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, you should do this. Go ahead and do that. And you might be fueled off one situation. Be like, fine, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then go do it. And then whenever you mess up, he's gonna sit there and laugh at you like, I can't believe you really did that. Like, why would you do that? And the main thing is that this Shinigami loved apples, nigga. And that's what made me be like, nigga, this is Adam and Eve, bro. Because this is between both of them, the guy and the girl, Light and the girl, and then the Shinigami, and he always loving apples and nothing else for some reason. That was the slick snake in the ear.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy. So man, yeah, Death Note they got a whole live action movie. You can go get that on Netflix. And then they got a whole 33 or 32 episode series on Netflix. You can go get that right now, man. Go watch them and compare them, because they slick lit. They really, I think in the movie, everybody's gonna be hating because it's all this crammed into one, but they really crammed 33 episodes into a good 2-hour movie, to where when I watched the movie, it was like, okay, the first bit of the movie was like a pinch of episode 1, and then it jumps into like episode 6, and then it goes on and on. So it's a good ass story, man. But it's one of them ones where it's like, it's about morale, man. Are you good or are you bad?
Right.
And are you bad for defeating bad?
Or are you bad even if it's for a good reason?
And that's what I was reading recently about DC. They were talking about that new Batman coming out. What's his name? Who's the director though? I can't think of Buddy's name. Do you know what the director's name was on that L? Reeves. Matt Reeves. No, not Matt Reeves. It's something Reeves.
I don't know, man.
I'm about to go Google check, but Reeves had specifically said that their Batman is going to be one that's going to be like making fun of all the other Batmans. Now, I don't think like so much as they're going to be like verbally making fun of.
Right.
But the whole premise of
put it to shame.
and the whole non-killing your enemy type thing. Like, we don't do this.
Kill some niggas in this movie.
They were saying he's really gonna go deep on this one and really gonna go that far with it. And then I also read that they're making him just like how they made Joker, schizophrenic, not really schizophrenic, but a mental health patient.
Like,
Remember, we were just
issues.
talking about that the other day. Damn, we were just talking about that. And they're saying that's the reason why he's doing Batman shit, is he's up all night you know, run around fighting for this and fighting for stuff that you never really, that nobody really should fight for. And just because you lost your parents, there's people that die every day. You think you need to be the savior of your whole city because your parents died? Matt Reeves. I did say it right then. Hell yeah.
So wow, that's bananas. So they gonna so this one is not gonna be so much him, Bruce Wayne, the billionaire, going through some problems. It's gonna be him, a fractured human being.
Yeah, they say this is year one. They say this is year one going into year two.
Have you seen that version of year one?
Bruh, yeah. I was just watching. I was going back and watching a bunch of them just to keep up because
if you've seen that, then you know it's bone crunching coming.
Oh yeah. Straight off the preview, you can hear that. I watched that one part like 4 or 5 times just to make sure I seen it the way I seen it, bro. Yeah. Crunching, juicing, smushing, and not stopping. And then they say, you know, him throwing those punches, this is him not being knowledgeable Batman. This is him being young and like, I just need to beat the shit out of you right now, Batman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's lit. That's lit. I like that shit, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because they really focus on him as human.
Right, yup.
Yo, this is how I vent, nigga.
Literally going out on these streets and I'm doing this. Man, what'd you think about the Batman preview?
Oh, bruh, I thought that shit was just super dope because I like the way they took a more, I don't want to, not so much comic booky, but more of, like I said, a noir feel to it.
Yeah.
Especially because they said they want to focus more on the detective story more than him being the quote-unquote Caped Crusader.
Right, yeah.
So, definitely like the opening scene where they have Gordon walking into the crime scene and then he's reading the riddle that's on the card. And he turns around and he looks at Batman and says, "What do you think?" And then he comes in and it's like, okay, so yeah, they're definitely gonna go into Batman analyzing crime scenes and being the world's greatest detective.
Right, no, but what I saw, they said that more or less Batman is still kind of new. Like Gordon is the only one that's used to him. But like him coming up to the police department and being there, the crime scenes is new to everybody else. So they're tripping like, yo, who is this? Talking about his boots, talking about what he's wearing, like who is it? And like we really get to see the beginning type shit of Batman. Like I thought we did with Keaton, but man, we going deep.
Right. You would have thought.
I mean, they went back and Nolan went back and told the story.
Yeah.
And Nolan's
no, you can't put this. No, I don't think you're gonna be able to.
Nolan's version of it, in my opinion, was like the way he told that story was fantastic.
Like overall, like that whole trilogy, bro. Like I don't know any movie trilogy that's been done like the whole Dark Knight series, bro. You can't redo that. Yeah,
because the first movie, like each movie had its own story. Each movie was a standalone movie. And
you didn't need the other one, but I mean, it was just the cherry on top, just to have that backstory before you went into the next one, man.
Right.
But nothing that shit with Bane, bro, will forever be my favorite. Probably my whole favorite Batman fight series, anything, bro. Just because Bane didn't give no shits about Bane. Bane was breaking you down.
But I'm not gonna lie, my favorite Dark Knight. That's hands down.
With Joker,
man, hands down.
Yeah, Heath Slater, bro. He died doing that shit.
Bro, but Heath Ledger was putting that ball, he had like a pipe or some shit like that. The dog, he had Rottweilers. He was beating the shit out of Batman too. Batman really just had to really depend on that technology, bro.
He beat Batman ass up there in that
Speaking of beating ass, y'all seen the King Kong Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please enlighten me on your opinions, my niggas.
In my opinion, King Kong got his ass whooped.
Man.
And when the fucking Air Force dude, the little Josh Duhamel looking ass dude said, "Well, I guess round 1 goes to round 2 goes to Kong." That motherfucker Godzilla got up like, "Bitch, what you say?"
Literally.
Beat the hell out of Kong, stepped on this nigga, stopped his heart. They had to fucking use a ship the electric pulses on the ship.
Yeah, he took that
to
out.
fucking revive this nigga, like using the paddles on this nigga.
Oh, yeah,
Godzilla
right.
beat that nigga to death.
But at the end of the day, what it was Hobbs and Shaw.
Pretty much.
Oh, I didn't even see that. So it was a stalemate. Who can?
Nah.
No.
Godzilla
They ended up working together.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
They ended up working together
to beat up
to
Mechagodzilla.
take down Mecha
Oh,
Godzilla.
yeah,
it
that was
reminded
the
me of
booty
Hobbs
part
and
because
Shaw.
that's the real winner of the fight. Mechagodzilla
Yo.
came in and came thrashing both of them off.
Was
rip.
handling them.
Excuse
Was
you, like
handling them.
Right.
that movie was lit. I didn't see the first Godzilla. I didn't see none of them other ones, but
Yeah, Godzilla.
that one, Godzilla King Kong, banger.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
another banger, nigga.
now, I ain't gonna flex. Kong was throwing them hands. Kong was using some brains. Like in
Yeah.
that one point in the scene where he threw the axe and Godzilla turned around to look at that shit and he
Right.
jumped on this nigga. I was
Right,
like,
but that was
"Ooh."
because
So, I mean-
Kong had the territorial advantage.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
nigga knew how to work them trees, work them heights.
Because
and
that
shit.
first fight, Godzilla had home turf.
Hey, but then Godzilla
That's like
turned it
fighting
around.
an alligator in the water.
But then Godzilla turned that shit around, and it was one scene where Godzilla's combing the ground like this.
Bruh,
man,
Yeah.
that was
on the ground.
creepy part.
Because
that
if you
shit.
know anything
Like,
about
bruh.
alligators, them some bitches come up on land too.
Right.
Real quick.
Yeah. Godzilla
Real
vs. Kong was dope. Yeah, that shit went
The
in.
whole thing that had me thrown off is like at the beginning, bro. They let you know that Godzilla was not playing. They're like, they're like, wait, what does that sound? Like, we know something is coming. You see him swimming effortlessly like a knife through butter, bro. Boom, cutting through ships, naval ships.
That's why I said an alligator, because everybody, oh, he's a lizard. Bruh, look at his body, look at his face, and tell me you don't see a fucking alligator.
Right. I said like a Komodo.
That too.
Yeah, like a Komodo dragon, man. Because with the way he yanked King Kong down by his throat under the water with his tail,
Yeah.
over. I was like, yo, I can't.
Kong was dead.
It was over after that,
But
bro.
see, that's what made me think
Over.
alligator, because
They
I
had it
thought
cheap.
that fucking gator roll, when he grabbed him and drug him down, when he grabbed him by the jaws.
Kong had it, man. I will personally say that Kong had it. Godzilla can go on somewhere with all that extra. He had a lot of opportunities and a lot of man. Godzilla ain't even got no forearms. This nigga all biceps and wrists.
Yeah, but Godzilla KO'd Kong though.
Big like big
twice.
Stopped his heart, buddy.
man.
The first time, the humans had to help that nigga. They said, turn everything off.
All everything.
Make Godzilla think
Go
he won.
away, yeah. Let him go. Yeah, that was, I guess King Kong really did kind of rip a whole.
OG on that one.
You know me, I just got my Kongs. You know, I'm out my gorilla shit, man. I just like gorillas, man. That's just like the primal instinct. I guess that's really
Yeah.
the yin and the yang, the fucking Sub-Zero and Scorpion of predators, really. You got the reptile and then you got the silverback gorilla.
Primate, yep.
My brother said, fuck Godzilla. Hell yeah. Nah, man, but that shit was lit. That was a dope ass movie. And then what y'all thinking about did you get to catch Loki? Loki dropped.
Yes, that was that. I
Ooh,
knew
thank
we
you.
was missing one. I said,
go.
yo, what was the other topic? Alright, so
Yeah, so I'm
let's definitely talk about some Loki, because I knew it was one other topic I wanted to talk
Yeah,
about.
because Loki, like, I watched it, but it's like, I don't like Loki, don't want to keep up with Loki, I don't know.
I would.
I don't like none of
watch
that.
it. I would definitely watch it.
He's like, I don't know, he's too, I don't know how to describe it. It's like cheesy though. Like I feel like Skylark is cheesy, or Skylord, but Loki is just cheesy. Like whenever he got choked and broke whenever he got choked and broke, I was like, finally somebody. That's like that fly. That's like,
Right.
See, I always found him to be kind of funny.
right,
You see, because I'm like, I like a good villain,
right.
especially one that's charismatic. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if you could be a charismatic villain, then you could do stuff. Because technically, Loki was really only supposed to be in the first Thor movie.
Really?
Yep.
He got liked
But-
that much?
Yes. Because he was that charismatic on screen.
Fuck y'all.
Right.
Whoever let Loki in, man, congratulations.
So-
he deserved that money.
But yeah, the show was just like the way it started. Cause they have you think, okay, we finna pick up right where we left off.
Right.
With Loki being, oh, I'm a god, so I'm finna come here and I'm finna show a little magic, and these people are gonna bow. And then all of a sudden, the time variant agency show the fuck up. Yeah, Loki, we here to take you in. I don't know who the fuck you are. Never heard of you.
Yeah.
But I'm a god. You ain't finna talk to me like that. And then she hit that stick.
She said you were moving at 1/16 speed, but you were feeling all of the pain that you were going through. I was like, golly.
That scene was dope in itself.
But that's Marvel. That's Marvel for you, bro. There's nobody ever in this. I can't even say that's Marvel. That's really Disney, bro. There's nobody in this world that will ever be able to touch Disney. We too busy trying to fight people in different countries. We too busy
Disney
trying to
lined up
separate
everybody.
bro. Y'all busy too. Y'all trying to break up gangs.
Shit, yo, come on.
The real gang.
Bro, they got
Disney.
Marvel, Star Wars.
Man.
They slick trying to buy WWE.
They got Fox News.
Yep.
They got CNN. They got hella shit, bro. They got Discovery Channel, National Geographic.
Yeah.
Everything that you think they don't got, they
that's why I be trying to
do.
watch National. Yep.
ESPN. That's why they all in the same package. That's why whenever they win the Super Bowl, they say, "Where you gonna go? We're going to Disney World."
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
because
Supposed to
you
say
owe
that.
Disney that check. You owe Disney
Right.
that.
Give it a couple years.
Yeah.
I'll have my breakfast.
Man, bro,
That
But,
shit gonna be
yeah,
crazy.
man. So that when they took him in and the whole I found it hilarious, and it fit with Loki. The whole theme of just his whole thing, cause I'm the god of mischief, and I'm this, I'm that, and it's like, okay, you're a trickster, but what happens when your tricks don't work?
Right. They put him in a real vulnerable spot now.
Right. Now we get to see the real you. And so, one of the funniest parts to me was when he walks in the room. Well, they drop him in the room, and the dude said, "Take a ticket." What? I'm a god. I don't need to take a ticket. Take a ticket. Dude walks up to he takes the ticket. He starts walking in the line. The other guy gets to the front of the line, and the lady says, "Ticket, please." And he goes, "I ain't got no ticket." He's like, "The dude ain't give me a ticket. I asked him for a ticket."
Right.
"Ticket, please." "I told you I ain't got no ticket. I asked them for a ticket. They ain't give me a ticket." They hit him with a stick. That motherfucker disappeared.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
Right.
That motherfucker Loki went,
Right.
I got my ticket.
Got my ticket. I'm not trying to get hit with whatever.
Like, bro, that's why I'm saying, bro, that shit was.
Yo, that shit reminded me of what's that dude named? Not the Collector. His brother.
Oh, you talking about
The Grandmaster.
the Grandmaster, yup.
Reminded me of his little wand.
Right. When he told that motherfucker, said, "Don't worry, I pardon you." Oh, thank God. I pardon you from life.
Like,
Whoa, this is a little.
yeah. That's what that reminded me of.
And
So-
Thor's reaction was the same. That, oh shit, this is real.
Right. Yeah.
God, for a minute, he kept, I'm a god, nigga. I'm Thor. I'm the god of thunder. Da, 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 da. And then when that motherfucker hit him with that death stick and my man melted, then he went, "Oh, don't touch me with that."
Yeah, man. That's.
Bruh, speaking of Loki, y'all played God of War? You played any of that?
Man, now, see, I ain't touched on no God of War since PlayStation 4 and all that.
Oh,
But yes,
wow.
I was a heavy-duty God of War fan. Played 1, 2, and 3.
Man,
Stop
apparently, man,
Stop
God
playing.
of War 5 is the game. I mean, God of War is the game of the year every time it comes out.
Yeah.
That's like Bron. Whenever he in the finals, Bron gonna win. Kobe gonna win. Jordan gonna win. You gonna always lose against God of War if that is one of the nominees in your game bracket. So it's like the way they do it now though is beyond some motherfucking Lord of the Rings type of CGI. This shit is on some. They film at 60 frames per second. Everything is done like a real movie. It's not like you do voiceover. Everybody got the CGI shit on, and you're all doing it like a real movie. Everybody go 100%.
Now let me make sure I got what you're talking about. You're not talking about the latest God of War 4 that came out where it was him and his son.
Him and his son, yeah, that's 5, yeah.
Damn. So
Oh no, that is 4. That is 4.
Yeah,
5 is
I'm
coming
about
out.
to-
5 is gonna be Ragnarok.
Right. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of God of War 4,
Hercules pulled up.
man, my man had he has a goddamn dream, nigga. Thor, because he killed you. You end up killing his sons.
Oh yeah, you kill Hercules.
You did tell me that.
You end up killing Thor's 2 sons, Magnus and somebody else.
Yeah, it's a weird ass name.
And then at the end of the game, nigga, you and your son, Kratos and his son are in a room, and he's having this dream, and he walks outside, and lightning is hitting, and he's like, "Who are you?" And you see the little image of the hammer.
Just drop down. You're like, oh shit, it's where it's about to go down. But the thing that I loved about that shit, bro, I didn't even play the game, but I watched through the cinematics on YouTube from beginning to end. I was like, yo, this shit is wild,
because they turn the games into movies
completely, and it's
they
like
take out all the gameplay, just put the cinematics in there. You might get a bit of gameplay to get to the cinematic, but
you were drawn into it from like beginning until end, bro.
And then that's funny because then at end of the game, you find out Kratos' son, his real name is Loki.
And that's why I brought that up. Yeah, we do that.
Like, yo, I was like, oh.
That's literally why I brought it up, because I'm sitting here and I'm like,
supposed to kill his father.
Yeah, because you walk, because it's like that, like they go through this whole motherfucking legend and the whole story that they're going through, and they finally get to the temples that they're going, and Atreus, I think it's Atreus.
Yeah. So yeah,
his mom, Kratos' wife, whatever, died, and so he's taking him just to be like, I have to be a parent now. I can't be a savage all the damn time. I gotta be a parent. So that's the real struggle in between a lot of the game. And then the kid watching his dad be a savage, and now he wants to be a savage when the dad's like, you don't need to be a savage.
Right.
Is a big like circle in the game too. So like whoever wrote the story, and then the dude who played the guy who keeps running up on you, Baldar.
Yeah. Ooh.
Bruh, like I literally want you to sit and watch these cinematics, Cops, because this is the type of shit that we be watching on a daily, bruh. Because whenever I saw this, I was like, yo, this nigga, whoever his name, he's on, I think, what is the Walking Dead? He's on the Walking Dead, I think. Older, well, they're all white on there, basically. But his voiceover for this character, bruh, is so vicious.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, I think that is who it is.
Did he play Yondu?
He had the big forehead, far back hairline, hair starts back. He always looks like he got hit with an electric bolt. His hair's always like blue. It's like always up. I'm about to figure out what his name is, but like his voiceover is the whole game. And then this dude Baldar is sitting here and he antagonizes and stalks you and annoys the shit out of you, because at the beginning of the game, like you walk around with your son, you doing those small shit, and then all of a sudden you get this knock on the door, and nobody's not supposed to know where the fuck you at. Dum 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 dum. I know you're in there. What the fuck? Yep. He's like, Atreus, go in the basement. You go in the basement. He's like, what? Go in the basement, boy. Puts him in the basement. Goes to the door. Oh, I was watching some of it over at your crib one day. He was beating the living shit out of him. So yeah, so he goes open the door. He's like, who are you? Big short, Conor McGregor looking ass.
Yeah.
Nigga. And motherfucking Kratos is like 7 foot, and then they said they had to change the actual voiceover character for voiceover actor for Kratos, because it was T.C. Carson from fucking Living Single, I think.
Yeah.
The black dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
The nerdy dude. Yeah.
Kyle.
So yeah, it was him, but they said that they went a different direction because they were doing the CGI, had to do the balls and everything on the ball points and everything, and TC doing it and trying to be Kratos would not look as realistic as a nigga who's like The Rock trying to be Kratos.
Right.
Because the movements, you a swole nigga moving like a swole nigga instead of a lanky nigga moving like a swole nigga. You're gonna be trying to throw awkward and shit like that. So they're like, yeah, we had to move on. And didn't even tell Buddy about it. Didn't even tell TC about it. They just said, oh yeah, we ain't made a game in like 4 or 5 years. We didn't call you, so I guess you should have known you weren't gonna be in the game. And left him off. And so, but like the whole fight between Baldar and Kratos the whole time, bro. These are super beings that are like fighting and punching the living the shit out of each other, punching each other 15, 20 feet in the air through bricks, pushing each other through stones.
That's how the fight started.
Bro, beautiful.
Kratos was telling nobody you don't want it. And my man was like, oh yeah, wow.
Hit Kratos with that.
This nigga flies through his roof. boom, boom. And it's like, all right, now we got a problem.
Yeah.
And after that, nigga,
Like if people have not
Bodies
watched that,
flying,
man,
son.
go look. Just go watch the cinematic episode. I mean, not episodes, but the cinematic clips from God of War, man. Because that shit, and then the next gen, I had to watch the next gen. I wasn't gonna watch, the PS4 version, the weak PS5. I was watching, the early shit. I was watching that next gen 8K type footage, man. I had to wait forever for that shit to buffer. Yeah, watch that shit and feel like you a part of, motherfucker. I don't even know where they were in the world, bro. But it's so immersive in that game, bro. I just had to get a PlayStation just to play that and Spider-Man. Gotta play Spider-Man Miles Morales.
You know what? If I got a Spider-Man game, it'd be because of the free roam.
Word,
man. Around the city.
Literally. You played the Marvel one? Marvel, what's it? Marvel Avengers?
Yeah, yep.
What'd you think about it?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
think it's okay.
People really hate it. And the media really, IGN, really talking shit about it. Because they coming out with the Guardians of the Galaxy game. From Square Enix, and they said they're not gonna have everybody being everybody. You can only be Quill. And I was like, that's a game I'm not buying. I'd rather play.
It would be nice if we had certain parts where you get to play with a different member of the team.
Nah, they did it like X-Men. When you had a squad of teams, it's like you get 4 people.
I hate that shit.
X-Men Ultimate Alliance.
And Legends, and Ultimate Alliance, Ultimate Alliance. That's what it was. It's like
I ain't
that.
gonna lie, man.
But you're only Quill.
I don't like it that much.
You
dislike
do like special moves to get Rocket to shoot somebody, or you command other people to do shit, but you are only Quill. And then they said it's not theory based, but it's like a butterfly effect type engine too.
Whatever decisions you make in the game affect the outcome.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Yeah,
So
That's probably why you can only play as
Right. Yeah. Because Quill is right. Yeah.
Because to do that, like, you would have to go through the game so many times.
Right.
Make so many
All
different
them
decisions.
And then they said
And
that.
to even code that,
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
That's the real science.
But that
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play with Drax. I mean, I would play with Drax and shit, but I wouldn't want to go through his motherfucking storyline and this and that. Nah, it's straight under Quill. They said that Quill, like, there's gonna be situations where you're gonna be like having to sacrifice a teammate to go be captured so y'all can go ransack this and come back around and get them later. There's gonna be situations where you gotta lead people and all sorts of stuff. So these are the types of decisions that'll make niggas figure out how the end of the game will be for you. So, man, it's gotta get on it. And this entertainment is real these days, man.
it is. They turn their video
bro.
games into real life situation.
wow, that is a lot.
What I hit? I said, let's see, was Death Note?
Yeah, we hit some Death Note.
Hit Loki,
Yeah, we definitely talked about Loki.
God of War,
God of War.
and then
We did, I had ran through the horror show that is Extreme Rules. Yeah, I had ran through that whole card before you came in.
what's that like? Is that alright?
Oh, bruh.
I know what that means.
But, yeah. So, with everything, we did have a couple of things that we did want to touch on that I think I'm just going to push to next week. That being last minute rewrites. I'll throw that segment on next week's, and I'll make sure I'll start off with that segment. So, Suicide Squad. You gotta pass.
Dun dun dun. Suicide or the Suicide?
Suicide Squad, the Zack Snyder joint.
Okay. This polka dot nigga that's in the new one, man.
Bruh. We going.
in the new
That, hey, I'm gonna touch on all of that when we do last minute rewrites next week.
Oh yeah, I'm in there. I'm watching.
So, with that said, last word. What's the word, nerd?
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Thank you and good night. And with that said, go ahead. You can hit us up at Armand Joseph, ARMOND on Twitter, at Armand.Joseph.9 on Facebook, ARMOND.JOSEPH.9 on Facebook. Hit us up on Instagram at AnimeandChill88. Go ahead, get to your Google Play, your Apple App Store, grab your Fly 93.5 app. Tap Listen Live, go ahead and hit us up. Or, if you can't get us that way, you can catch us online at radio.fly935.com. Go ahead, tap Listen Live, listen to some podcasts, listen to your favorite songs, or you can check us out on Anime and Chill every Thursday at 6, and every Tuesday we got a replay at 2 p.m. So check us out, man. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pardon my language.
Whichever one we in.
Right? So, every Tuesday at 2 Eastern Standard Time. Every Thursday at 6 Eastern Standard Time. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, grab your favorite person, throw on your favorite show, TV show, movie, whatever, and kick up your feet. Time to Anime and Chill. Peace.
Salute the big dog.
Dynamic entrance kicking in the door like that. Turn up to the max, shooting energy up to the sky. Tap into the station 935, it's time to ride. Swooshy color backgrounds just to let you know we fly. Undefeated, never beaten, cause we got the skill. Striking all this black gold, you would think we had a drill. We got what you need, homie, so come and get your fill. Relax and unwind, it's time to Anime and Chill. It's time to Anime and Chill. Relax and unwind, it's time to Anime and Chill.